remember that. The Democrats had a chance to actually lower your premium 6 months ago, but they refused because they wanted to keep health care as a political football. They do not want a solution. They want an issue. That's what this is about. They use the American taxpayers, they admitted themselves during the longest shutdown in U.S. history a few weeks back, as leverage in this cynical political game. So in the coming days, what you're going to see is the other party, the Republican Party, continuing to do the important work that we've already begun to actually lower the cost of health care and reduce fraud, and we hope Democrats will join us in those efforts. There are two parties in this town. One has no intention and no plan and no desire to lower your health care costs. They really haven't put any good idea on the table. They just want to subsidize a broken system. Check them on that. The Republican Party, on the other hand, is already demonstrating that we know how to do this. We're not just talking about it, we've done it. In the Working Families Tax Cut, you will remember, in the Medicaid reforms, we went after program integrity. We didn't change the substance of Medicaid, as they've claimed falsely. We went to program integrity. Why? Because we owed that to the American taxpayers. We got ineligible recipients off of Medicaid, and we cut out the fraud, waste, and abuse. And the CBO said they've calculated it saved $185 billion for American taxpayers, and it reduced premiums. We reformed it to strengthen Medicaid. Those same principles are going to guide us in the months, in the weeks, the days and weeks and months forward. As Leader Scalise noted, we have some low-hanging fruit. We have some things that every Republican agrees to. Democrats won't. Remember, they don't actually want to fix this problem, but you're going to see a package come together that will be on the floor next week that will actually reduce premiums for 100% of Americans who are on health insurance, not just the 7%. Remember, the COVID-era subsidy only covers 7% of Americans, and it was passed and extended without any reforms at all. It would only reduce their premiums by 4%. So they're using that as a red herring. The overall system is broken, and we're the ones that are going to fix it. You will see that laid out. Thanks to the good work of Chairman Cole and all of our appropriators, we have our appropriations process that will be going forward as well. We're moving those through the regular order process, and that's the way it's supposed to work. So you'll see many of those going through the process, and we think we can get it all wrapped up by the end of that deadline on January 30th. And you'll see that process continue over the days and weeks ahead as well. I will say this again. This Congress has been the most productive and successful in the modern era, and I think I think you can make an argument, one of the top 5 of all time. You'll have heard me say that. Look at the evidence and the facts. Don't listen to the talking points. This team has delivered with small margins what the American people asked us to do and what we promised we would do. And that work has just begun. It will continue in earnest all the way through the end of this year as we sprint through the end of this calendar year and we start the new session in January. We never take our foot off the gas. So with that, I'll take a few questions. Yeah.
Speaker Johnson, do you intend to advance pro-life provisions in your health care package, such as Hyde amendments for whatever you advance?
Well, look, it's an important principle. The Republicans always stand by the Hyde provisions. It's been a tradition in our law forever. We do believe in the sanctity of human life, and we think it's important that taxpayer dollars not fund abortion. I mean, this is a well-settled principle of ours. So this week, as we go forward, we're gonna do a lot of things on the floor, and we always keep our fundamental principles in mind. Let me tell you just some of these things this week. I mean, some of this has been mentioned, but real substantive things coming to the floor. We passed legislation last week to keep the CCP out of your children's classrooms and to cut costly red tape for small businesses. This week, you're going to have the NDAA on the floor, as Representative Kiggins has talked about, building on historic investments that we included in the Working Families Tax Cut to advance President Trump's peace through strength agenda. By the way, I want to just tell you, before somebody's going to ask about these provisions, this legislation, the NDAA, codifies 15 of President Trump's executive orders, as the leader mentioned, provides a well-deserved pay raise for our troops. It advances the Golden Dome. It revitalizes our defense industrial base. It ends woke ideology at the Pentagon, and it keeps the border secure. And it's the product of months of work by Chairman Rogers and our House Armed Services Committee with Representative Kiggins and all the colleagues there. We thank them for their efforts. And this week, we're also going to have legislation to streamline permitting processes, accelerate permitting approvals, as Chairwoman McClain discussed, strengthen our electric supply chain, and many other things. What you're not going to see, though, is the dreaded Christmas omnibus, right? Because we broke that fever, and I'm so proud of that For 3 consecutive years, Republicans have avoided the bloated end-of-the-year Christmas omnibus. We've broken that tradition, and we're not turning back. Those are the things you're going to see as we advance our core principles and we stick to the traditions of what we've done for the taxpayers and for the citizens of this country. Yes.
Speaker.
Second row, right here. Glasses. Here.
After the Gang of Eight briefing that you had yesterday, what makes this video of a second strike on a suspected drug vote different from the other videos the administration has voluntarily released? And do you support all members of your conference being able to see it?
My admission here is I was not in the Gang of Eight briefing yesterday because we were working on the healthcare stuff, and it was timed at exactly the same time as we had our 5 families, all of our caucus meetings, and I told Secretary Hegseth and Secretary Rubio I wouldn't make it, so they're going to meet with me individually, so I have not yet seen that. But I will tell you that they have obviously shown that video to the Gang of Eight, and I think members have had the House Armed Services Committee and the Senate Armed Services Committee. So you have to ask the question to them. So we'll see. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, yeah, yes, sir. Second row. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I get your thoughts on Jasmine Crockett's run for Senate? What does it say about the state of the Democratic Party? And do you feel worried about her chances of winning at all?
I'm absolutely delighted that Jasmine Crockett is running for Senate in Texas. I think it's one of the greatest things that's happened to the Republican Party in a long, long time. She is the face of the Democratic Party. She and Mamdani. Good luck with that. I want her to have the largest, loudest microphone that she can every single day, and we look forward to having that election down there. We are going to elect another Republican senator in Texas. Texas is a red state. The people of Texas are common sense Americans, and what Jasmine is trying to sell will not be purchased by the folks of Texas. That is my prediction. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Will you be meeting